Okay, we've just arrived back to the homestead and been out this morning looking for a good chiddle stag. We've seen quite a few really decent younger stags, but nothing that really spun the wheels for us because yeah, they all look like they need another couple of years of growing. But anyway, I hooked my trusty little 22 out. He got wet there last night, and as we came in we were trying to save all the food and sleeping bags and swags and everything else that had got wet, trying to dry them out. And then the second storm came in. I haven't got back to this till now, and because I don't have much blue on this rifle, well, it's starting to rust straight away. So I'm just got some clean bore Formula 3, and I'll go over this and I'll try and cut the rust off it, lubricate it back. The only thing I don't like about it is it's got that smell to it that I reckon if it's not dried on your firearm and you go to handle your traps, you're taking that off your firearm and onto your traps as well. But anyway, you can see how this thing, if I hold it up there, look at the top of it. It's terrible. Sorry, all you guys and gals that are out there that don't like the way I handle my firearms. I think I'm too rough on them. Well, I reckon rough is a dog's name. So all it is, these are my tools of my trade, and yeah, they get used pretty hard. But this 22 now, I've had it for probably best part of 30 years, and I had an Anschutz before that. I got one when I was 13 years old. I remember buying it down at in Brisbane at Kingston Brothers. Dad and I were 13, and Dad walked me down in through Brisbane. I'd never been through the main part of the city before, and we went to this Kingston Brothers Firearms and bought this Anschutz 144546, I think the model was. Lovely little curved magazine 22, and we paid for it, put it in a gun bag, and I carried it over my shoulder at 13 years old, and down through Queen Street, I think Albert, you know, the main streets in Brisbane, back to where our car was parked. And you know, nobody batted an eye, nobody said a thing, nobody looked at us sideways. It was just the done thing. School kids at those days would actually take a shotgun and that to school if they were going to like clay pigeon shooting after school. Cadets, Army cadets would have their 310 cadet rifles with them, or L303s. And nobody got shot, nobody got terrorised. You know, just people didn't do those sort of things. So it isn't a gun problem that we've got now, it's a society problem. And the guns are getting the blame for it. Anyway, this is my beautiful old 22. It's no bluing left on it. A lot of people say to me, you know, what is it? I said, it's a, you know, Mark II basically. It's a CZ Brno. So people call them the fake Brunos. This is made in Czechoslovakia. I've got one of the original Mark I's that was my granddad's in New Zealand, and I'll do a little clip about that gun pretty soon. A bit of the history on it. But this one, it has literally killed tens of thousands of animals, and yeah, it's been with me a long time. I've done a lot of control work with it. I wouldn't want to guess how many chiddle deer and fallow deer and red deer it's shot, mainly chiddle. It'd be in the thousands. Yeah, it could be even up to 5 to 10,000. And a lot of that's close in work when we're working the creeks and whatever there, the headshots, and it just did the job. And for 10 years I worked for Hamilton Island Enterprises up there off Hamilton Island up outside of McGhie. And we go up there a couple of times a year to control the chiddle deer, possums, the wallabies, under permit, under licence from the National Parks and Wildlife. And we'd control those. And I'd get out there and run the bush with this thing. and shot a lot of goats with it as well. A lot of deer. It had a, people say, what's the hole for in the side there? It's got that little hole in the side of the stock, and a little line. Well, what that was a little pressure switch. And the mount here in front, I had a laser, a little red dot laser that was mounted just there, so it was between the scope and the barrel, so that I didn't have something sticking up here to give me the wrong angle when I got out too far. So I was working on the rifle, you know, the bullet going with trajectory, line of sight going dead straight, and this laser was then right between your line of sight and your barrel, also going in a straight line. So in close, I'd have it so that the bullet was hitting just fractionally above the red dot, and then by the time we'd get out to about 60-70 meters, it was bang on, and a little bit further then we'd start to drop. But a lot of the control work, I'd have a head torch on, and I'd go into a situation where, I remember one night I went into a trap that we had on Hamilton Island, and there was 17 deer and wallabies in that one trap, unexpectedly. And I had to just hop straight in quickly, torch on, and basically off the, you know, half ported the rifle, red dot on the eyes or on the head, and fire, repeat, fire, 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 2 magazines. And we actually had the CEO of the island had come along with us that night for a look, and he was at the gateway, and I think he was stunned because he said he'd never seen anything like it in his life. It was in a matter of less than a minute, and I had, you know, 17 deer and wallabies dead with this, just by using that little pressure switch, pushing on that, red dot on, fire. So it's done amazing work for me. Beautiful little rifle, doesn't owe me 1 cent. It's one of these days I'll get it refurbished. I'll get there and we'll do the stock up and oil it properly and re-blue. But at the moment it's a tool of the trade. Got a little loophole scope on it is all that's needed, and it hits exactly where I aim. So how can you ask for better than that? A beautiful, beautiful little rifle, and like I said, it's put tens of thousands of rounds through it.